I'm sure it flipped at some point, right?
At some point, it flipped, made a mess, and there was a lot of upset people. Let's just say
That's
that.
that's a biohazard.
The way it wasn't like solid,
I don't know.
watery,
I don't know.
soft
You don't know
serve.
I don't know the consistency. Maybe it was just a log. Who knows? Maybe they got lucky and it was just one log.
It's just on the belt, like a hot dog at 7-Eleven.
Oh, the hot dogs at 7-Eleven. Hey, just cook it on the
A
grill.
little soft hot dog.
This podcast may contain views and opinions which are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any local agency, organization, union, employee, or company, including the podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Clock Shop Talk.
Welcome back.
Voice is a little off. I'm recovering. I'm about 98% recovered from whatever the fuck I had. I don't know.
Yeah.
Feeling a lot better, but I was feeling a little under the weather last week. What's up, George? How you doing?
I'm all right. All right, doing well.
Got the number 2 co-host over there, Gary Brockett. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Welcome back, dude.
Oh,
Glad to have you on.
always good.
We wanted to go through some stuff we talked about last week, right? The week prior, we had Bobby Wainwright on. We discussed a lot of social media, some new ideas for the show. I haven't seen too many comments or emails, so send them in because we're starting. We want to get to story time. We want to hear your crazy stories out there. We got a lot of our own, and those we will probably go through some of those today.
Yeah, we're gonna go through some today for sure.
That's right. You have any pertinent information for us, George? You're our news guy. So do you have any information for us this week?
So
Current Teamster news.
Current Teamster news is all you can find. All the Teamster newsrooms where I get all the stuff. I'll put the link in the description below. So Teamsters from Local 2010, skilled trade workers at UC Irvine ratified contracts. So they ratified their contract.
Sweet.
Congrats to you guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a big deal. This one's cool. So 1,100 workers at Tomatech joined Teamsters in California.
Sweet.
So we now have 1,100 new Teamsters joining.
Welcome. Tomatech members, you are now Teamsters. Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family. So I just want to, that's kind of really all I had for that, but thank you guys for joining. You guys welcome to the family.
Do you know where out in California they are?
Tomatech is located in Firebaugh, California, and is the leader in aseptic technology. For example, they process fresh packed tomatoes in convenient Xacur 10 equivalent pouches and other industrial sizes, such as 5-gallon pails and 55-gallon drums.
You guys have taken the right step, or a step in the right direction to bettering your lives. That's the truth. You have advocates now fighting for you. That's what the Teamsters do.
And also for the generations after you.
Yes.
That's a big one.
That's what the Teamsters do. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Fight for you guys. Gary knows all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Also, I want to just hit on one thing real quick. We have this ongoing, continuous fight with Amazon, and it's within our jurisdiction, within, just about everywhere, in the U.S. If you live in the United States, Amazon is affecting your business. It doesn't matter what you're doing. They're in everything. They're in medical. They're in grocery. They're in warehouse. They're literally in everything. And the Teamsters have made it a personal beef. We're not trying to disrupt their business. What we are trying to do is get their workers a fair wage and fair benefits, and just to actually, for that company to be realistic that, what their workers are worth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So please keep an eye out, keep an ear out. Information is everywhere. You guys can go on the new 952 Facebook and Instagram. A lot of that information is being shared there. I know some of it's on the IBT website. Please go check it out. Find what's in your area. Help out. Do what you can. I know for our Lancaster group of Teamsters from 396, they've been on strike for quite a while. And they're continuing to fight, but money helps. So please check out the 396 Teamsters website. That'll point you in the right direction as far as helping those members out. We need to support those on the front line. That's the truth. These members are struggling, but still in the fight. So please reach out. Please keep an ear out in your area for, to support that Amazon action, wherever it is in your area. It's huge. It's really huge for us. Myself and George come out of UPS. They are definitely disrupting UPS. Gary comes out of CVS. They're in the pharmaceutical industry now. They're in grocery. So those of you guys out of Albertsons, Ralph's, all those.
They got Amazon Fresh now. So
yeah,
you can.
They got grocery stores. They're getting into everything. So they are trying to disrupt our whole thing. And now we are awake and we're fighting back.
Yeah, everyone needs a fair day's pay for a fair day's work, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that
fair
the whole
day's
thing?
work for a fair day's
look
pay.
at fucking, was it Bezos, right? I'll put the clip up here, but
How much money does Jeff Bezos have?
I think he's worth 80-something billion.
So let's round that to 100 billion, okay?
like Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about how much money that guy has if you stack the dollar bills literally on top of each other.
Can I do with $100 billion bills? I can take them and put them end to end,
It's like it can go from here to the moon and back like several times over.
and I can go around the earth 200 times.
Wow.
Okay?
Really?
Come back and on top of that, like circle like the globe.
Time. Wait, but I have some leftover money.
Single dollar bills?
There's no reason to even have that much
That's
money.
insane.
So now, put them vertically. Well, with what's left over after you went around the world 200 times, you can go vertically to the moon and back 10 times.
I mean, it's more money.
what do you
than-
do with all
It's
that
more
money?
money than any.
When you have $1 trillion, huh?
It's more money than like literally a generation.
And he
can
lost
spend.
half of it, but I think he already gained it back.
Oh yeah, he lost that half. I think he gained.
He lost half of it. It's
I think
not
he
even
gained
a
twice
big hit.
back. I don't know the exact numbers, but he did lose half in the settlement. You know,
For his divorce.
for his divorce, and then COVID like fucking really brought things back up because everyone, they were technically essential workers, but they weren't being paid essential wages. So
Damn, so his ex-wife,
Oh, she
made
became,
out.
I think she became
She
one
was-
of the richest.
she was the
women
wealthiest
in the
ever
world,
because of
Wow.
that
just
settlement.
because of the divorce.
Absolutely
That's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah,
She's bigger than Oprah.
that's big.
That's pretty big.
It's pretty big, man.
So I guess let's get into the prime subject of the day, which is story time.
Story time.
Gotta love Teamster story time. This is a new segment that we're going to do. I mean, we're going to have some shows. I mean, today's show is basically geared around that. So if you have stories, please, I know you have stories out there. Please share your stories. You can give us a ring. Obviously, you'll have to message us
message
first.
us on
We can get it,
Instagram.
we'll give you our number if you think that it needs to be voiced, if it's a long story. If not, send it in through Messenger, whatever, on Instagram, on our email, and we'll give all those at the end of the show. But please send us your stories. I know you guys have them out there, and we want to hear them. Everyone out there wants to hear them.
Yeah, I know I mentioned on the previous episode that I'm going to have like a Dropbox. I'm not sure if it's going to be out by the time this episode goes up.
Okay.
But there will be a Dropbox where you can leave voice messages. So
All right.
that is coming.
Sounds good to me. So let's get into our first story. And I think I'm going to go first. I kind of alluded to it last time we aired an episode with Bobby, and it's a doozy.
Doozy?
It's a doozy.
Or is it a dookie?
It's a dookie. Dookie. You are correct. It's a dookie. All right. So let's say back in probably 2005-ish, I worked at UPS. Obviously, most of you guys know, started there in 02, but right around 2005-ish, I worked one of the pickoffs. There's multiple pickoffs within that building, which are, if you guys know buildings, they're usually on a raised platform. You're up there with either by yourself or with one other person, right? So there's usually like a 2-person pickoff. There's a belt going by. Pickoff, for those of you guys that don't know, there's a giant belt and there's hundreds of packages flowing
It's
by.
wide. The belt is, I think it's more than 6 feet, about 6 feet wide.
Probably about 6 feet.
It's about 6 feet wide. So usually, there's usually 2-person picking off. One person gets one half, the other person gets the other
Yeah.
half.
Sometimes, though, you're up there by yourself and you
Yeah.
get stuck up there. And it's hard to get breaks as far as like, hey, I need to go to the restroom. You're the only guy in that spot. And your job in that spot, basically, you have this 6-foot wide belt. You got hundreds of packages flowing by you. Not super fast, but fast enough. You need to be on your game.
Yeah.
So you're up there doing your thing, and you're going to miss some stuff, but whatever. So you're up there and you're picking off a specific zip code or a specific package. It just all depends on what pickoff you're at, right?
Yeah.
So someone is up there in the pickoff. Definitely not me. I want to preface that right now. Okay, so someone is up there in a different pickoff. I'm in a pickoff. Most names on your stories, I will say that. That's probably a good thing to bring up. Most names on your stories,
We need anonymity, right?
are not going to be shared, even if you don't want the building shared, area, whatever. But anyways, so someone was up in the pickoff, and they were very upset, could not get a break. Looking for the supervisor. The supervisor's not up there in the pickoff with you, and you're a good, I would say 30 feet, at least 30, 40 feet above the ground, right? Usually the supervisors are down.
Yeah, it's
working
it's
in the
up
area.
there. It's up there.
So you're up there pretty high,
You're isolated.
at least that high, and was very upset that he could not get a break and decided to take a shit in a tote. But then it gets better. I don't know how it gets better, but it gets better. So then this person decided that it was
Funny.
a good idea to send that tote
Oh, perfect.
on the belt.
Perfect.
Nice. So that the main belt is like it runs in a return loop. So that's why you said like if you miss packages, it'll go all the way around again.
Yeah, you'll see it again.
Yeah.
I don't think he saw the tote again.
No, it
because
definitely did not.
From
make it
what
back to
I
him.
understand, the tote made a mess.
I'm sure it flipped at some point, right?
At some point, it flipped, made a mess, and there was a lot of upset people. Let's just say
That's
that.
like that's a biohazard.
The way it wasn't like solid,
I don't know.
watery,
I don't know.
soft
You don't know
serve.
yeah.
I don't know the consistency. Maybe it was just a log. Who knows? Maybe they got lucky and it was just one log.
It's just on the belt like like a hot dog at 7-Eleven.
Oh, the hot dogs at 7-Eleven. Hey, just cook it on the
A
grill.
little soft hot dog. I don't know, but I know this story to be true. It did happen. That was something
That
else.
is fucking
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
He must have been real angry, huh?
apparently. I'm pretty sure the dude
Now-
got fired.
now the question.
Well, yeah, because he's the only guy
Yeah.
up there, and there's a tote with a big old shit in it.
Well, also, what did he wipe with? He didn't wipe at all, huh?
I don't know.
Maybe he used a sock.
Those are questions for the dude.
Or he just rolled his underwear up so like wouldn't get on his pants, you know?
Yeah, maybe it was a sleeve. Maybe he ripped
I don't
the
know
sleeve off.
I don't know from experience, just to let you guys know.
I don't know.
so.
I don't know. That yeah, I kind of wish we had access to that guy so I could ask him those questions.
I don't
It's
know
like,
that
what'd
I'd
you-
want to ask.
What did you wipe with? Did you
What was the consistency?
Yeah, what was the
What was the
consistency like? Did
consistency?
you have peanuts
That's
or
the
corn
main
the day
concern.
before?
Or I guess we could say, what was the viscosity?
Yeah. Like also
Like
when
it's
it got
motor
caught in
oil.
the belt, did it just get all over like every single package? Was it a streak just down the middle? So
Yeah.
like what? Yeah.
How many packages did it get on? Did UPS even pull those packages and
Right.
rewrap them?
Probably not.
Right. Well, I mean, how angry was the cleanup guy? You know, like
Hazmat crew?
the hazmat guy.
I don't know. Would you even clean that up if you're a hazmat?
I wouldn't.
Well, they'd have to, just because
I would assume
because the
no.
operation still needs to run, right? I'm assuming this is probably like 2 or 3 hours in, so the shift is almost over probably, and that
Well, we've had a few incidents at work, and sanitation had to clean it in the bathroom.
Interesting. Oh,
that's wild.
I actually have another story.
Is it better than the Dookie story?
This is another Dookie story.
Jesus,
I don't know why a lot of the stories are
you have a
Dookie.
lot of shit stories. They're
So-
shitty stories.
Actually, this has nothing to do with UPS. Has nothing to do with the Teamsters, but it's a funny story.
I like funny
Alright.
stories, so
Okay?
let's go with it.
So, one day, I'm working in an office. I actually worked UPS part-time for 10 years. Most of you guys have heard the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Part-time, 10 years. I worked 2 jobs. So I worked out at this medical supply company. I just happened to go in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I go use the restroom, and it looked like somebody really, really had to go
And missed the toilet.
Like maybe they were pulling their pants down as they were
So they were
sitting.
like turning, and it just like sprayed
no,
the.
no, no, more like they were about to sit down.
About
They
the,
were
they were in like mid squat, and
And
it
it
comes
just-
out.
like missed half the bowl. Like
So like half in the front of the bowl.
half in the front and half inside and all
Oh
over.
man,
Look what he did! He shit all over the wall!
Why didn't you just look for the guy with little shit stains around his
wait.
ankles?
So we're like, I go in there. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, right? I'm like, holy shit. So I get weirded out. I'm like, okay, and then I walk out of the bathroom, and for the most part, I mean, I don't. You should always look where you step, correct?
100%.
I don't think I was looking where I was stepping that day. So I walk in to this stall, and I'm like, whoa, that's bad, right? So I walk out, and as I'm walking out, I see footsteps. I didn't see them coming in, but I see footsteps, little brown footsteps. And then it's almost like you've seen those movies like Princess Bride, like Tracker.
Ranged all over. They were both masters.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the footsteps, and I'm like, they're like this up to the sink area, and then you saw panic. Like it was like,
You can see this.
oh yeah,
Steps like, oh, fuck.
scurrying, like scurrying, like what the fuck am I gonna do? Oh my gosh, like
Wow.
it looked like that, right? So I'm like, oh, there was a panic here, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I noticed the footsteps lead out of the bathroom, and
So now you become you're like a detective now.
oh, I'm a shit detective. I'm a shit detective at this point. Right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So I followed those footsteps all the way to somebody's desk.
Oh shit.
And he was at his desk. And I felt bad.
Yeah.
I really did. I'm not going to lie.
Did you
felt
lean
bad.
on? Did you lean? You're like, hey, I know you're having a shitty day.
I didn't say anything.
I know you're having a
Really didn't
shitty
say
day.
anything.
Sorry,
And-
bro. Shitty day.
And luck would have it, a family emergency came up, and somebody had to go home.
Yeah. I'll bet a family emergency came up.
I will never forget that story. And I would
You
never
didn't lock eyes with him or anything?
say the guy's name. I actually loved the guy. He was cool. He was a nice guy, older dude, but I felt bad, man. I felt bad.
Damn, so it was one of those where he was pulling down his pants probably and like
just
mid squat, and it
Didn't
just went.
make it, dude. He just didn't make it.
Yeah.
And it obviously got on his shoes, and there was obvious panic in front of the sink. Like,
That's
Oh, it
that's. Oh man.
he was panicking.
What was the consistency?
Oh, it was Not solid. Let's just say that.
It was liquor. It was
Damn.
like it
That
was
sucks,
just straight
man.
liquid.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Liquid.
It was a 520.
520.
That's another story for you for story time.
It's pretty good.
And I'm hoping that all my short stories aren't shitty stories. That's not the point here.
No, it's not. But we can continue with one. So this one,
Oh, gosh. All right.
this
We're
one,
gonna call this the
one,
shitty
this one will be this one will be brief. So this happened.
Briefs?
Brief.
Oh, okay.
So this happened to an employee that is female. And it's funny you mentioned you should look where you step. So this person went into the bathroom and just walked into the bathroom and then on the way to the stall stepped in something, almost slipped. I was like, what the fuck? And then looked down and there was a Duke in the middle of the bathroom, of the woman's bathroom. She came out pissed. This is one of the sweetest people in the world. Like, she's really nice. And she came out livid that she stepped in Duke. It was insane. I'm like, what chick is going in there and just taking a shit on the bathroom floor? That's wild even for the guy's bathroom.
I'm telling you, though.
Like there's
I
the
have
stalls, and then in the middle of the room, were they in it for like the love of the game? Like they're
always
trying
held
to
to believe-
get caught, or like
I've always held the
They're
belief
gambling.
that
They're gamblers.
bathrooms are worse than men's. And men's get bad.
I
'Cause they got
think.
Yeah,
fire
they get
hoses,
pretty
we're
bad.
pissing all over the
And
place.
I get
it happens.
I get some
But-
of that, but I think theirs is bad only because like they have more functions than we do. You know?
I don't know that to be true. It's almost like, have you ever been in a woman's hotel room? Like a hotel room that only girls are staying in, or only...
No, I haven't.
I can't
or-
say that
or
I have.
seen one.
Can't say that I have.
They are
Those exist?
fucking dirty as fuck.
Yeah. I didn't even know those things existed.
Yeah.
All women's hotels.
No, not
No,
like
he's
a
just-
hotel,
he's just saying,
like
like-
a room.
he's saying
like,
a-
say you go
Oh, I
on
was
a
like-
trip with a bunch of friends, right?
Okay.
And there's a group of girls, there's a group of guys. You guys all have your own room or whatever.
Oh,
they have
yeah.
their own room. And the girls' rooms are fucking filthy.
Yeah, they got all the all the
Fucking
makeup.
shit everywhere. And
Yeah.
for the most part, like if I was traveling, you went into my hotel room is fucking clean, dude. Fucking sink all organized, it's clean. And I've seen girls' fucking rooms and it's just like dirty clothes everywhere. I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just like a thing that you learn young to stay organized and clean, you know, like, and some people just, they don't
Girls
grow
don't learn it.
They probably don't give a fuck about that.
True.
Cause it's like, that's my personal space and no one's going to go into my personal space unless they allow it. So it's like,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I do like to be clean though. I'm not gonna lie. I like a clean
Yeah.
area, clean.
I definitely like a clean toilet.
that's
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah. Definitely big. And both of these stories had nothing inside the toilet. So
Well, we had something on it.
there was something on it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Gary's contribution, everybody.
It doesn't.
Well, since we're talking
it doesn't
about
have to be. It
shit-
doesn't have to be a shit story.
Well, I'll give you a brief shit story at
Here we
CVS.
go.
That happened pretty recent. Now that we're on the shitty side of everything.
No names.
No names, whatever, but we have a bathroom on our receiving dock side. And one day I walk in there and I walk into the stall and there's just shit everywhere. Inside the toilet, outside, on the wall, whatever.
God damn.
I promise you. Everyone's seen it. It's you walk in there, it smells bad, and you're like, oh, someone just took a fat deuce right now, right? So you're the next guy in. I walk into the stall. Yeah, it's literally everywhere, right? I'm like, dude, I can't use this.
Yeah.
So I'm walking out. I'm washing my hands because I'm weird like that. Anytime I walk, even if I don't use the bathroom,
Yeah.
I always wash my hands. I'm weird like that. So I grab walking towards the hand dryer, and we have a trash can set up there. Someone threw their dirty shorts into the trash can.
Oh shit!
Literally, their dirty shorts were in the trash can. There was shit all over the trash can. I don't know what the hell happened.
They were having a shitty day.
Yeah, they were having a pretty shitty day.
It's like a shit grenade went off.
And shit grenade. Hey. So we're suspecting it's one of the. We won't mention any names.
No, don't.
We won't. We'll cut that out. We'll bleep it out so people can guess. But it was pretty bad. There was shit all over the floor.
Because like there probably was no control over that, and it just happened.
Some people, I mean, dude, you
get it literally explosive diarrhea. That's what happened.
Shitty day.
I've had pretty shitty days before too. So
they do happen.
The one thing I question is how does it get like on the walls? Because you see it on the walls. I know some people intentionally do it. Because I've heard one guy say like he intentionally does that. But this is like a real piece of shit, dude.
No pun intended.
Yeah. But like, how does it happen if you accidentally shit on the wall? So you like turn. That's what I was asking. Like, do you pull your pants down and swing around and like, because you're trying to get onto the fucking toilet and like it just like its way into the toilet.
How do you? What?
I mean, what is this?
What is the consistency that you can shoot it on the wall?
So, I mean, it'd be a challenge though, because I mean, if you have to open the door and then you want to lock it, so you got to turn around and lock it. All while doing that, you got to do your thing.
That's when you sit on the toilet and you like Dumb and Dumber it, and you just hold down, just put your feet up on the door.
Yeah.
See, some people don't like me. If I absolutely have to at work, I never sit on the seat.
Hover.
I'll be straight up. I'll hover over that thing. I'm not going
Okay.
to touch that thing.
Hover.
Dude, you go in there, people pee on it all the time. Like,
It's pretty fucking gross.
dudes probably pee in the sink.
I guess I don't have
mean,
that problem.
Pee in the sink. Holy shit.
That's some real bachelor shit right there, dude.
Yeah, you're like,
I've heard stories. I've never seen it, but I've
I
heard
can't make it the other
stories.
10 feet to the toilet. I'm just going to pee right
It's not even 10 feet. It's less than that.
But
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that issue because I take wipes with me on my route. Like I have a little thing of flushable wipes on
Wipes?
my route.
Wipes
So
are solid.
I wipe the seat down first, and then I put that little thing down.
Ass gasket?
The ass gasket. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, do we have some not shitty
Yeah, I was
stories?
saying, let's try and get some.
yeah,
not
I
shitty
mean,
stories in
okay,
here.
not
I know I started
non-shitty.
it off.
Yeah,
I know I started it
non-shitty
off.
story.
You start off with 2, so we're like, let's keep the shit trainer rolling.
I mean, I got a couple.
Because shit rolls down.
I got a couple funny ones.
All right.
What do you got for us?
We'll start off with this one. From a few years ago. Hopefully the person, I know they probably watched the show, but it's all right. It's cool. They'll be all right.
Okay.
No, so we have a department at our work. It's the cherry pick department, right? It's these guys that drive lifts. They're in a harness. They go up and down in the reserves or the racking.
Yeah.
So you're strapped in. You have to be hooked in at all times because you could literally fall to your death, basically,
Yeah.
if you're at the top level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So one day, I don't remember what time it was. It was probably a little bit before my first break of the day. I'm driving down the aisle and I hear my name, like someone's calling my name. Like, Gary. And I'm like looking around, like, thought someone was fucking with me, right? Like people fuck around all the time. So I kept hearing my name. So I'm driving over and it's on aisle 5, which is at our warehouse. The reserves there are pretty low, but they're still high. Like if you were to fall from the top and fall down, like you would definitely get hurt or whatever, break your legs,
Possibly
whatever.
die.
And I look up and there's this person hanging from their harness. Like literally hanging from their harness, right? And I'm looking up, I'm like, oh shit, like, like, hey, I need to get down. Like, but at the time, I didn't know that there was an emergency release button on the actual equipment where you can press
on
a
the
button.
bottom.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So you can lift them down just in case something like that happens.
Yes.
I couldn't help but to laugh. I'm sitting there and this person's like, "Oh, it hurts," but they were kind of like laughing about it too, which
It's a good sign.
it's a good sign, right? So that's why
Good sign, but still kind of scary.
if the person's watching, they'll get a kick out of it because I'm mentioning it. But so I'm driving to go get the supervisor on my forklift, and the whole way there, I'm just laughing hysterically, dude, it was bad. So I went and I told the supervisor at the time, like, hey, there's someone hanging from a harness, and he ends up going to look. Supervisor starts laughing like it's so bad because the person's. I know it's a safety thing, and like the person could have got hurt, but the person was hanging there literally with their feet dangling. Dude,
It's like a full body harness, right?
Yeah, full body harness. So, and it was just the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life, at least at that warehouse. I mean,
That's pretty funny.
since then I haven't seen anyone else dangling.
I think if I had that job, I would try and figure out how to flip upside down and then come down like a Spider-Man.
But
So, I actually have a funny story about that too. I used to drive a picker, cherry picker, a Raymond.
Yeah.
I used to drive one of those at that other job that I was referring to, and I actually fell off. I was going to do, so we would pick orders, and then we would drop them off at QC, right? Get QC'd or whatever. And I was missing one item. And I remember it was at the second bay. So I wasn't, the first level is usually pallet high.
Yeah.
Right? So you're like pallet high. And then I had unhooked, dropped off my basket. You have one of those cages or whatever. So I dropped off the cage. And then I was like, fuck, I got to go grab this one thing that I missed. So I go and I pull up, and it's just at the second bay, thank God. And, for some reason I was just yay far apart, and I took a bad step.
and you fell off.
And I fell off
Yeesh.
from pallet height, and I wasn't strapped in. I mean, I had my harness on. I had unhooked to push the cage off, and then when I went, I didn't fucking totally forgot. And fucking fell. Boom. When I fell, I broke my pinky. So what happened was I stepped on the first little plank of the pallet, and it broke.
Yeah.
So I fell forward onto the pallet first and snapped my pinky because I was trying to catch myself. So I snapped my pinky and then fall down. And I wasn't really, I probably fell maybe 6 feet.
Yeah.
And I just grabbed my pinky because I was worried I knew it snapped. And I straightened it out. I just grabbed it real quick. I was like, oh, fuck. And that was fun.
Then you were out on workers' comp for the next year?
I was out on workers' comp. No, I was out for, actually, I don't think I was out. They put me in a cast that was like this. So I still had these 3 fingers.
They gave you the eagle claw?
大你走！原來你係蕭林子嘅死定種。
Yeah. The doctor was like, well, he's like, imagine you're holding a can of Coke. And I was like, all right. And then they had me stretch these 2 fingers out, and then that's how they did my cast. So I was still able to grab stuff and work.
Well, we had a guy too, not cherry pick related, but he got his head stuck.
Oh shit.
So, and it was pretty funny. But the loading department, we use the RC forklifts, which are the smaller ones. You probably see them at Home Depot occasionally too. They have them, but the forks on those don't retract. They don't go forward and back. They're just fixed.
Yeah,
but you can tilt them and stuff, and
They just
if you
tilt forward and back.
They tilt forward and back. So one of the loaders was grabbing a blue Chet pallet, and usually when we grab the blue Chet pallets when we're loading, is we have a stack of 64 totes that we load in the trailer, and if we have to turn them sideways, guys will put them on the blue pallet because the Chet pallets, I don't know if you ever seen them, they have the wider holes on the side.
Okay.
For the driver to come in with the electric jack and pull
Oh,
them
the
out.
little hand jack?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I know what you're talking about.
but usually we'll do that if we have to do it with totes because it's super heavy. So right in front of loading or behind loading, there's a department. It's a pick the pallet where they select on machines or whatever. There's always empty pallets. So when you're loading, you're always going to grab empty pallets if you need them from empty locations. So this guy goes in and he's grabbing a blue pallet, but since those things don't retract, you have to like back it up all the way in like in the aisle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the safety brace on and I saw this happen with my own eyes. Like, there's a safety brace on like the forklift to keep it protects you from like falling, whatever. Like the protective, whatever metal thing that they have. And there's a brace on it on your forklift that's like literally right here. Like when you're driving it, it's right here in front. For some reason, he was backing it out, but he was tilting his head like this, like to try to get it. Like I don't know what he was doing, whatsoever, but he ends up getting his head stuck in between the safety brace and the actual rack of the warehouse, warehouse racking, right?
Shit.
So his head's stuck, but it's not like smashed or anything because he's going slow, but he's stuck. For some reason, he's afraid to move it on his own, right?
Yeah.
So I'm driving by and I see him, and there's this other guy from loading that seen him, and he's sitting there, and he's like, "Hey guys, can you help me like get this thing out?" And at the time, we didn't really laugh though because we didn't know how tight it was because, and depending on how the orientation of the wheel is, because we don't know unless it's just the guy doing it because it just it's an infinite rotation. So we're sitting there and we're like, oh shit, and we're slowly putting it, in to get his head unstuck, and he ends up getting his head popped out. And then after that, like, dude, we're just sitting there. And this is the same guy for the next story. It'll be a quick one too. But, we ended up getting his head unstuck, but he was sitting there and he's just like, oh my God, I got my head stuck. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? And I guess he was just trying to get out of the location. Ends up getting his head caught between the rack. Dude, it was one of the funniest things too, as well, that I've ever seen. Scary and funny. After it was funny because he was all right, but at first we were freaking out because he could have been like pressure. Like he could have been pinned in it like super, but it ended up being just really light. But after that, dude, like we never forgot. Like people still hound him today for it, and he just laughs about it. But this is also the same guy, which I did see. I didn't see it happen, but I saw the aftermath. And it's kind of a crazy one. I guess the story goes is they had a problem with the lift gate, or not the lift gate, the ramp into the trailer.
Yeah.
So you have to like lift it up. It's hydraulic, and then there's a piece at the top. It looks like this, and then after it gets to a certain point, it flattens out and then goes down. Well, the hinge in the middle, right? There was an issue with the ramp, and I guess they were looking at it, waiting for maintenance to come and take a look at it. And I don't know who it was, but someone was trying to press the button, and the same guy that got his head stuck had his face down there, like looking like, hey, like pointing out like to one of the employees, like, hey, it's not flipping or whatever. Well, the guy that was pushing the button, it finally started working. So I guess it flipped up and pinched like a part of his finger.
Oh, fuck.
Dude. Luckily he was wearing gloves, but he pinched a part of his finger. So I'm driving by after it happened. I had no idea what was going on. I see people running around, and then I see this guy sitting on a tote holding his hand. So I thought he like broke his wrist or something, like did something. And one of the safety guys that we have on the floor goes over and checks him out. And then I started being nosy as usual. And I'm looking, a pile of blood, or just a puddle of blood, literally on the floor. And I guess the guy, when they tended to him, they took his glove off, and a part of his finger was missing.
Shout out Manny.
Shout out Manny. Manny, the same thing happened to Manny.
Yeah, the tip of his finger, right? But it like cut it clean, like his two fingers right here, right? So I guess the safety guy was like, oh yeah, like, I noticed that his fingers were gone. So they ended up getting ice or something from like the pharmacy department, putting it in, and they just shook the It's so fucked up, dude. But it's funny now that you
Did they
think about
reattach
it.
them?
No, it didn't make it. They couldn't do it. They ended up. It was too late by the time that
The tissue had died
Same
out.
thing with Manny.
Yeah. So the safety guy was like, "Oh yeah, we just shook it out or whatever," and the tips came out, and then they put it on ice, and then they took him to the hospital.
Wow.
But
Crazy industrial stories.
yeah, missing limbs.
Damn, dude, that's fucking wild.
You're the softest thing in the shop. That's the way you got to think. You know.
That's wild. That's wild.
I think we've had a good day of story time.
Yeah, a lot of poop.
A lot of poop.
A lot
A lot
of
of poop
poop.
stories.
A lot of poop, a little bit of falling, a little bit of missing fingers.
Yeah, they all don't have to be poop and missing fingers. So just
Funny stories. We
Poop,
like
missing
funny
fingers.
stories.
definitely funny ones. Definitely funny ones.
You know, we hear all kinds of stories, but we know you got them out there, so please share them. Like George says, he's gonna open up some place where you can leave voicemails, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully that's out in a couple weeks. We'll let you know, but please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We want all your input. We definitely want input. We want you to stay active. Please, be involved in your local union. Go to your general membership meetings. You're probably on, summer break right now from your local. Most are dark right now. But that being said, please get to your general membership meetings. Get to know your stewards. Get to know your BAs, your e-board, all that.
Yeah.
Please be involved. You are the union. It's important. Thank you for tuning in every week. And Instagram, OCST952. Follow us on Instagram. What else, George?
Email us at ocst.000@gmail.com with all your questions, comments, concerns, stories for story time. And hopefully soon I'll have the Dropbox up so you can leave voice messages for your stories if they're incredibly long or you yourself want to hear yourself on the show. So
And donate.
please donate to our GoFundMe. We're trying to just raise some money to increase a little of the production here at the studio. It would definitely help us out tremendously as all this is produced or funded by us. So
100%.
I'll put the link in the description. Anything else?
That's it. Gary?
Fuck Savas.
Fuck Saba.
I didn't forget. He's not here today.
We'll see you guys next week.